Hello and welcome to Michael's vlog. Today is April 21st and happy Easter Sunday. This is probably the second to the last video on the 40-day fast series. It's definitely been an interesting journey and I guess we learned a lot of things, but I don't think this is gonna be the last video. We'll summarize a bit more uh, in the evening. Today's evening. It's not tomorrow. We haven't gone to sleep yet. It's 1 a.m. Um, we were planning to take this video earlier. I was actually ready to go to bed at around 10 o'clock on the 20th. But we had an interesting conversation with a friend of mine. And so there was kind of delayed sleep for that. But I mean, it was an interesting conversation. And she had some stuff to vent out about. And um, I'm happy to support my friends in that way. Let's help our friends in whatever way we can, especially in the world today that it's really difficult to actually set aside time for other people. Let's get into the good and bad for today, very quickly because we need to go to bed. I think the bad is clearly comes in two parts. First of all, I wanted to make butterscotch, and when we bought all the things and then when we went home, I realized that we left out one ingredient, which is butter. How are you gonna make butterscotch? How are you gonna make butterscotch without any butter? So it's a big oversight, kind of a big oversight. So long story short, we didn't end up making any butterscotch. So, and this segues into my second bad thing for today. I decided to just improvise on instant noodles. So I wanted to make instant noodles a bit better. So I took its premix, mixed that up, and then I added some. So I sautéed some garlic, onions, and green peppers, the spicy ones that you can see in some dishes like sisig, really spicy ones. I stir fried that and then I mix that with honey into the sauce of the instant noodles. And it worked well except maybe for the fact that I maybe put in too much honey because the coating now would be a bit too sweet. But it actually did develop a really good mouth spice. So it's a very interesting flavor. But I made at the same time some uh, makeshift croutons. So, what are croutons if you don't know? Croutons are, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right or if I am right, but the croutons are the small pieces of bread that you can find in your soup that's thick. And that's very nice, and I wanted to make some of that. So, what I did was that I just diced up four old pieces of bread, which are different kind of bread. So it wasn't a loaf or it wasn't a sliced bread. It was actually a mushroom bread and some binangkal. And well, the four pieces of bread was actually a bit too much for the amount of instant noodles that I made. Although they did have an interesting combination when you eat them together. I think I made a bit too much because I was able to fill a big bowl with the croutons that I made. And at the same time, I kind of left it in for a bit too long. So now they're really hard and they're also a bit charred on the outside. So, yeah. When you're improvising, or especially whenever you're cooking, and especially when you're improvising, always keep an eye on the things that you're doing because a lot of things can go bad in the kitchen. We haven't had any major situations at all. Maybe just kind of like the dishes could have tasted a lot better than they did if they weren't a little bit charred. But that's it. That's the bad for today. What's the good for today? Well, the good for today is we actually had a very relaxing day. And is also able to set aside some time to really do things that I enjoy. In right now, I'm watching some Netflix. Found another anime, and it's actually a lot. It's also interesting, but I really appreciate this anime because it's a kind of anime where it doesn't really leave you on a cliffhanger. It's just like every episode is a bit self-contained, so it's enjoyable in that way. You can just go in and go out, and there's no consequences. There's no, I don't know. There seems to be an overarching storyline, but whatever. Every episode seems like it can function in itself, and that's really nice because you can just watch it nonchalantly. What else is good? Um, I guess that's really what I appreciated for today. Um, we did take some time for ourselves. I was actually planning to start the journal today, but it didn't happen because I still don't know how to start. I'm still looking for ways how to start. So anyway, yeah, the day overall hasn't been very interesting, but it's also not like many days. It's not lacking of things that did happen. So that's it for tonight. I'll see you. That's it for this dawn. I guess it's 1 a.m. like I said. But that's it, and I'll see you in the evening. I hope everyone's enjoying this series. You're probably watching from the future. So thumbs up for bad video quality or whatever. Uh, so that's it, and God bless everyone. I'll see you tomorrow or tonight.